I saw what they were doing from a high ticket sales process and enjoyed how gracefully and it was like, watching a gold medal ice skater. It was just really something beautiful to watch. Oh my gosh, I just walked through one of the most beautiful high ticket coaching sales processes ever. And it came to me via someone that I follow on social media, someone who I immensely respect his teachings, and someone who I totally vibe with, Scott Oldford. So if you guys don't know him, totally look him up. He's really made a name for himself online, and he's really, really awesome. But I recently went through a paid challenge with Scott called Skip the Pitch. It was really awesome. And at the end of that, he was selling people into his high ticket coaching program. And I kind of wanted to outline it because it really is beautiful and it really highlights the needs and the way that you should be approaching your clients when you want to close them into high ticket coaching. And when I say high ticket coaching, I mean anywhere from $2,000 and above. Here's the thing, when people are ready to invest that much money with you, they are typically the kind of people who, or at least these are the kind you want, because you don't want the kind of like that, you don't want high pressured people coming in to a coaching program, right? You don't want to push someone into a $2,000 purchase and then have them in your coaching program just for them to want to leave, just for them to be unhappy, just for them to not be satisfied, just for them for wanting to ache for more results. And it's really uncomfortable to host a coaching program full of people that you basically pushed into or scared into or alarmed into buying your coaching program. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. High pressure sales situation. Well, you do have to service these clients and it totally sucks to service them. So the best way to explain some fundamentals of high ticket coaching sales is to tell you what Scott did to me. Are you ready for this? Okay, so first of all, you show up to his paid challenge. It was freaking awesome, okay? It was very laid back, but he was live. He was live for several hours and he gave us the goods. So no doubt the value was absolutely there. And so anytime you do a high ticket sales process, you want to make sure there's value there in your lead magnet. And I say lead magnet, and that means paid lead magnet or a free lead magnet, whatever that little carrot is that you're sticking out in front of your clients. Well, Scott delivered. And throughout the entire course, Scott was seeding. By the end of the 5 days, you knew Scott was a multimillionaire. You knew Scott knew what he was doing, what he was talking about, where he lived, what kind of freaking car he drives, a McLaren, by the way, and just like all the stuff about him. By the end of the course, if you actually stayed with him for the 5 days and you really you wouldn't stay for the 5 days if you just didn't really like him and vibe with him, then you definitely knew Scott was the expert, whether or not you knew he was the expert before you joined him on the program. And so towards the last day, he's like, oh yeah, I think I'm going to be, giving you an or I'll let you guys know how to work with me further. That's not really the point of this entire challenge, but I'll let you guys know. And so somewhere in some email, I don't really know when it came because he was really, really just like being very nonchalant about the whole thing. And somewhere in some email came along and it was basically like, oh yeah, and I'll put it on the screen here. He was basically like, oh yeah, if you do want to work with me, then just fill out this little questionnaire. And so I'm not going to give you his questionnaire. It was a really good questionnaire. I'm not here to give away anyone's secrets. I'm just here to teach some processes in a high level way. So you walk through the questionnaire and it's asking several questions, like everything that you would expect. One of the most notable things on the questionnaire was a question that basically said, how much money do you make? And within there was a little note and it said, I'm not asking this question because my coaching programs run at a fixed rate. That's not why I'm asking this question. I'm asking that question to see if we are a good fit. And then you answered several other questions. Some of these were pretty personal, right? If you're a business coach and you are trying to vet people on if they should work with you, it is totally awesome to ask them for this information. So I answered all of that information, my revenue, why I think I should work with Scott, all this stuff. It definitely took me about 10 minutes. So there's 2 tips in there. Number 1, When you're selling high ticket sales and you really want to start hand picking the clients that you work with, okay? And honestly, when you start selling high ticket sales this way, more high ticket clients will come to you. But number one, it's fine to send them through a survey. Number one, it makes them feel like you're being thorough. Number two, it makes them feel like they are special. Number three, it helps you weed out everybody who doesn't want to fill out a survey. So really, are they the best fit for you anyway? No, they're not. So you definitely can make them fill out a survey. I fill out the survey and maybe 8 hours later, right? Maybe. It might have even been the next day. I'll be honest. I think it was probably the same day. But it wasn't anything where I expected someone to get back to me really, really soon or anything like that because of the way that the survey was worded. It was not, basically, the entire process, guys, is no desperation, no begging, no pleading, no scarcity. When you start selling high ticket coaching for more than $2,000, right? Then it has to be a choice for them. Let them come to you. They're the ones who want to come to you, which by the way, if you have not seen my video on drunk girl, are you acting like the drunk girl at the bar? Go and watch that. Same exact kind of principles, okay? So 8 hours later, not right when I submitted it. I didn't get a ton of emails right when I submitted it. In fact, I've never even got I don't think I've got a follow-up email because I filled out that application. Then his assistant hopped on text message because they asked me for my phone number. So I am texting back and forth with her, and it is a very organic, it is a very natural, it is a really, really awesome conversation with her. And I felt supported and I felt heard and I felt listened to. Now, first of all, we all know when people text you, right? When you like sign up for text and then you get these automated texts about, going live, and I do it. Okay. I totally do it. Going live. It's like inhuman and it's kind of annoying and you don't really like it and you don't really respond to it. When we talk about the power of texting, it's this personal touch. And it's exactly what I covered in my coaching content formula workshop, which by the way, go check out that website, is that you got to stop viewing people online as like this group of people that don't have feelings and don't have emotions and aren't just like you. When you can start addressing people just like Scott Oldford's team did with me, and you start addressing them like a person, and you don't like basically removing yourself from the cell and instead putting yourself into a place of, do I want to work with this person? And you become the one with the upper hand. You become the one who chooses. And the customer will absolutely feel that coming through in your sales process. I think the point of this video is, and I'm right in the middle of the video and I'm getting to the point, okay? And I'm going to repeat it again, is this. However you're approaching your clientele, your coaching clientele, whether that be desperate or needy or anxious, okay? Then they're going to respond to that. People pick up on these vibes and these waves and these ticks and these, whatever you're doing with your hands or your face. Like people just read body language. That's what it's called. Body language right there. And they're going to pick it up. So all of a sudden, when you're creating this sales process and you're interacting in your sales way, I would highly recommend always in the back of your head to be saying, who's in the power position? Am I saying this because I want them to be my client ASAP? Am I saying this because I really need to close one more $5,000 client this month in order to meet my goals? Or am I saying this because I actually think it will help them, because I'm actually vetting them and I actually feel like they would make a good client? And is that why I'm doing this? And if you can answer those questions with, I'm doing this because I think I can help them, well, then keep going. But if you're doing it because you're desperate and you really, really need money right now, they're going to sense that, and you've got to stop, especially when you're closing high ticket sales. So the secret is you become the one in the power position, just like Scott did with me yesterday. And I'm a salesperson. I know what he's doing to me when he does it, okay? And you would think that sounds unpleasant, but it's awesome. I love a good marketing experience. I like it when I'm going to say it, okay? When I fall for, even though it's not falling for anything, right? They're selling something. But even if I fall for their respectful tactics, right? Then I still love it. I love it. And I loved every second walking through this process yesterday. So anyway, back to what I was saying. which was, we're having this natural conversation. And I tell her my problems. She comes back with, well, I think that you would be a good fit for Scott's upper level program. Now, when I originally filled this out, I wanted his lower level program because honestly, I can't do anything more until September. You guys saw me go on hiatus right here on YouTube for a launch I did, and I'm not doing it. I love YouTube too much, and I need to prioritize my creativity. There's another video for you. So I really just cannot do any high level coaching until after September. End of story. Plus I got some vacations. Doesn't matter. So she comes back with that, and I was like, okay. And we kind of talked about it. I didn't know how much it was. She never told me how much it was. She never told me anything else until I said, okay, let me know how much that coaching program is so I can start to wrap my brain around it. And she goes, oh, okay, I'll be right back. And she basically came back and sent me a link to a Google document. Yep, a Google document. And it's a friendly Google document, and it was just for me, and it explained his high ticket coaching program. There was no gifts. There was no high pressure sales. There was no testimonials. There was nothing. It was a document that kind of talked about his program. Oh, I actually never thought of doing that, although I'm totally going to do that now. Anyway, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, okay? I just did something really similar to the launch circle. I'll tell you about that in a second, but it just makes you feel like you're making a decision where you both trust each other, and I don't know, it leaves you to making the decision on your own. It also leads to weeding out the people that are really hard to coach. Those that need the solutions fast, or, their business is going to go under, they're going to get divorced, their kids are going to drive them crazy, whatever it is. You want people that appreciate your process, that appreciate your knowledge, that you guys vibe with. That's a dream coaching business. Only working with people you want to work with, talking about the things you want to talk about for as much money as you want to make. Yeah, sign me up. I'm on my way. I'm this close. Okay. So anyway, that's what it was. And I said, okay, cool, thanks. And we finished a respectful conversation, never feeling awkward, never wanting to wish this person would never get off the text with me. Scott had mentioned her name several times in his training. They're a small team and it's just them. And it just felt awesome. It felt familiar. It felt like they cared. And it was awesome. So I saw what they were doing from a high ticket sales process and enjoyed how gracefully and it was watching a gold medal ice skater. It was just really something beautiful to watch. Okay. And so it was awesome. And she, I don't know if I'm going to sign up for that program or not, because I told you about September. I probably will in September. But it sold me on his high ticket program. If I literally did not have that block, I would have signed up. In fact, I was this close to signing up because it was just awesome. And the document was awesome and it was all awesome. So I did something really similar in the launch circle the other day, which is I hosted a launch for my Content That Converts program to the launch circle. Because these are my friends. These are my BFFs. This is where people go to hang out. These are my online family. And so I did a mini launch to them and I took it very easily. It was hey, you guys are with the launch circle. You guys are my BFFs. There's 150 of them. You guys are my BFFs. If you want into this program, I'm giving you a special rate. I'm not going to send you to a landing page. Just DM me. Okay? Because it's human. These guys are awesome. They are my friends. I don't need to treat them like strangers. And it totally worked. I had several of them say how much they appreciated that aspect. And my guess is several of them signed up for that reason. So point is, stay in the power position as you're selling. And I know what you're thinking, Lindsey, but I do need the money. I do need the coaching clients. Please. I get it, but just try it. What's the worst that's going to happen? Do it for your next 4 high ticket coaching client sales. Don't send your salesperson or your VA, or don't do it yourself. Instead, put yourself in the power position. Try it on 4. Chances are you're not closing many of those anyway, right? You might close one of those 4 since your sales stats aren't that great. Okay. And instead just try it on all 4, and then you'll see that it works. The power dynamic changes and you can actually close people. Obviously, You had to have, you must have shown them your authority, that they can trust you, that they know your process, all these things, of course, have to happen before that. But if you do have all that, just try closing this way. It's gonna work. All right?